Hello and welcome. Oh, guys, I am so excited because I have been looking forward to sharing this review with you. Today, it is all about the most recent launch from Amouage, which is Existence. Now, Existence is a fragrance that launched about a week ago, and as soon as it was made available, I placed my order. I received it within maybe a day, maximum 2 days, and I've had the opportunity to use it a couple of times. So today I'm going to be sharing all the details and the full review of this fragrance. This fragrance has a perfumer that we all love, which is Quentin Bish, and it is 20% oil concentration, which is pretty good. But honestly, coming from Amouage, I'm not concerned about performance because I've never tried one Amouage fragrance where I've had performance issues. In the words of Amouage, this fragrance is supposed to be the expression of the serenity of endlessness. So we today are going to chat in detail about this fragrance. But before we jump right in, if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi, and I'm your fragrance concierge because I'm totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos multiple times a week, and on this channel, we love to talk about all types of fragrances. So if that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, leave a comment. Let's go, fam. So as I said in the opening, I received this fragrance like maybe maximum a couple of days after placing my order on the Amouage website. And as soon as I received it, I went ahead and I filmed an unboxing. So if you're interested in looking at how it came packaged, what it looks like, what came in it, and all of those details. If you're interested in the unboxing, well, I have a short here on the channel where I share with you the unboxing, and I also plan to have a reel or a story on Instagram where I share that too. But as soon as I was done filming the unboxing, I immediately sprayed it, and I did wear it for half a day. And I have to tell you guys, I'm just going to be very honest. When I first sniffed it, I did not know how I really felt about this fragrance. And that is the same experience that I had with Guidance. When I first received it, it's not that it was a dislike, but it's like, I just needed to adjust my nose to it because I just didn't know what I was getting exactly. So the same thing happened with Existence. I received it, I sprayed it, and I just was like, okay, is this one that I'm going to like or am I going to love it? Then I wore it the rest of the day, and I am telling you that I kept getting sniffs and whiffs of this fragrance all throughout the day. And the more I sniffed it, the more in love I fell with the fragrance. Now, the next day, I decided that I was going to wear it the entire day. And then when I showered at night, I was going to spray it again and wear it to bed because I really wanted to experience it in all facets prior to coming and sharing this review with you. So I sprayed it on paper. I started doing my analysis of the fragrance, a couple of comparisons here and there, but I was wearing the fragrance all day. And I have to tell you guys, before I even share the review, this fragrance is addictive. There is something about it that I cannot put my finger on it. It is not a scent like any that I have in my entire collection, but I'm not surprised because Amouage is known for their complex olfactory journey and even scent profiles. You may agree with me that Guidance was like the first of its kind. And I am finding that Existence is right along the same lines. So where Guidance was more around the rose and the frankincense, this one is more around like white florals and the frankincense. And I tell you, this is just very, very addictive. So Existence is a fragrance that opens up very fresh, and almost immediately you start to pick up on little sniffs and whiffs of the rose and the lily of the valley. But to me, the lily of the valley and the rose are freshly bloomed. It is very, very clear to my nose that the florals in this fragrance are very recently bloomed, like just bloomed. which adds to that freshness that is with you throughout the entire olfactory journey and throughout the wear of the fragrance. The fragrance inherently, guys, is definitely a fresh, floral, spicy fragrance to me. As the journey continues, you're going to start to notice that the fragrance is becoming a bit spicy. But that spiciness to my nose is not warm spicy. It is fresh spicy. And the number one note, because I do pick up on other spicy notes, but the dominant spicy note in this fragrance is definitely the frankincense. And I have to tell you that if you've been with me for a while and you did watch my guidance, not guidance 46, but my guidance review, you may recall that I kept stressing, or I kept mentioning that the frankincense was very dominant. Well, in this fragrance, the frankincense is not necessarily dominant in the same way that it is in guidance, but it has been done, in my opinion, in the exact same way as it was in guidance, just to a certain, less intensity than what you find in guidance. But I'm not surprised, because the perfumer behind guidance is the perfumer behind existence. As you approach the dry down, you are going to have an exquisitely beautiful, perfect for spring, which I'll talk more about that in a minute, fragrance that definitely is all about the mix of those white florals with the spicy note and the freshness, a freshness that is with you all throughout the wear of the fragrance. And it is just such a different fragrance, guys, because to have those white florals, or florals in general, and have the fragrance be so fresh, while at the same time being quite intense, is something that only Amouage and Quentin Bisch can do, in my opinion. At the dry down, you're also going to realize that this is truly, with no excuses, a musk-based fragrance. And typically I share this part with you later in the review, but I have to tell you that this is a musk-based fragrance where the musk is like a level 4, where 1 is the least that you're going to pick up on the musk in a fragrance and 5 the most. I am telling you that this is a level 4. And at that, to my nose, there's a tad of an animalic quality to the fragrance, but what I will tell you is that it supplements everything so well. It's just very nicely done. That animalic touch actually, for me, in my opinion, adds character and oomph to the fragrance, because without the frankincense and the spicy notes, because I'm telling you, I'm picking up on other spicy notes, and I think I clearly pick up on pink pepper, even though they have not disclosed it. Those spicy notes and the florals, with that freshness, and it would just probably be a very smooth, not weak, not faint, but it would be a very smooth fragrance. But that touch of an animalic quality in the musk just adds a ton of personality and character, making this a very sensually beautiful, smooth, perfect for spring fragrance. But at the same time, it could easily cross over and be considered kind of like a sexy fragrance, because I'm telling you, it has been done just beautifully. Another thing that I feel that I have to let you know about this fragrance is that in order for you to enjoy it, not only do you have to, like spiciness in a fragrance, this fragrance is not as spicy as Lineage, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, because that's the first one that comes to mind, not only because of the colors of the bottles, but also because of some of the notes. Now, this one is less spicy than Lineage, but at that, it also has a very present, not dominant, not overbearing, not obnoxiously present, but it has a very present soapy accord. There is a soapy quality to this fragrance, and that soap is not just any soap, because guys, this is Amouage. This is like a $45 plus bar of soap kind of soapy scent. And it is just absolutely glorious. But if you are not into a fragrance that has a soapy accord, then you really are not going to enjoy this fragrance. So I think that this fragrance is perfect for the spring season. I think that when it comes to the spring and summer seasons, you can use it for pretty much any occasion, day or night. But I also think that you can get away with wearing this fragrance during the fall season. But the only difference is that during the fall season, this is not a fragrance that I would wear like during a night event or for a night occasion, because it may be way too cool of a weather for this fragrance to really have its moment and shine properly. So I think that you can wear it for any occasion, day or night, during the spring and summer season, and then just limit it maybe to daytime, early afternoon type of occasions during the fall. To me, this is truly a unisex fragrance that leans to the feminine side. Not heavy to the feminine side, but also not a tad. This is a fragrance that truly is unisex. I can see a gentleman wearing it, but it is a fragrance that does lean to the feminine side. I think that the best age group for this fragrance would be 25 plus. I don't think that there's any level of maturity required for this fragrance, but I just think that it has a kind of like a tad of a degree of seriousness to it. And I think that the ages of 25 plus are perfect. I just don't see a, early 20s individual wearing this fragrance on the regular. So for me, it's really a 25 plus. This is a fragrance that is performing beautifully. But I am not surprised because this is Amouage. This fragrance is giving me a full day wear with a very strong projection during the first almost 2 hours. At that, it does have a moderate sillage, and it is definitely a fragrance that leaves a trail, not a very long trail, maybe about 2 feet, and it is a fragrance that will get you compliments immediately. Is it to the degree of compliments that you get with guidance? Well, I haven't had a chance to wear it out enough to be able to tell you if people are going to hunt me down and chase me as they do with guidance, but I can tell you that this is a fragrance that calls attention. As I said before, this is truly a musk-based fragrance. I can't stress that enough because I know there's a lot of fan members that really don't enjoy musk in a fragrance. And it's been a while since I've found a fragrance that I can clearly tell you it's a level 4. It's a very present musk, especially at the dry down. And that musk is a tad animalic. So you're not going to be able to avoid the presence of the musk. Now that animalic quality that I'm picking up is just a very tiny bit, but enough to give the fragrance edge and character. So I think that unless you have a problem with a musk-based fragrance, you are truly going to enjoy it. So now let's talk a little bit about this scent profile. So I don't know about you, but when I first heard that Amouage was launching a fragrance, and when I first was able to read the notes of the fragrance, I thought to myself, oh goodness, is this going to be a cross like between a guidance and a lineage? Because lineage is a fragrance that is quite spicy. I absolutely love lineage, and I think that it's one of those fragrances that should have been hyped. You know how I have that series here on the channel where every so often I put out a video where I tell you these are fragrances that should have been hyped, but they were not hyped, and I don't understand why. Well, Lineage to me is one of those fragrances. But when we take a close look at Lineage and we compare it to Existence, first of all, these two bottles, they're not the same color, but if you just look at Existence, it's going to remind you of Lineage, right? And then when you really read the notes and you really understand that Existence is a spicy kind of fragrance, you may be wondering, well, how similar to Lineage is it? Well, I can tell you that they're really not the same. Lineage is a very, very spicy and, to my nose, not dense, but also not a fresh fragrance. It is a beautifully aromatic and very, very spicy fragrance that is not cloying in any way, but it is just totally about the spiciness to my nose. When it comes to Existence, you are going to find that it is a very, very fresh fragrance. Is it a freshie? No, but it is truly a fresh fragrance. The best way to describe it for me would be that this is like the ultimate fresh fragrance for a female, right? Even though this Existence is a unisex fragrance, in my opinion, that leans to the feminine side, to me, this is like the perfect fresh fragrance for a female. And the focus in Existence is on the florals and on the spiciness of the fragrance, versus in Lineage where it's really all about the spices. Are there other notes? Yes, but the focus, the dominant notes are all of the spicy notes. All in all, guys, I have to tell you that I am really, really in love with this fragrance. And I think that with a couple more wears, I will be totally obsessed and addicted with it, especially as we're coming into the spring season. But I have to tell you, this fragrance, in my opinion, is not a safe blind buy. Please do not blind buy this fragrance. It's the same as when I reviewed Guidance for You originally. I kept saying throughout the video, do not blind buy this fragrance. It's lovely. I'm in love with it. It is incredible, but it is not a safe blind buy. Well, the same with this one, if not more, because there's a certain degree of spiciness here, and the entire blend is just so complex and different. You really have to be into a soapy quality fragrance. And when I say you have to really be into it, I mean it, because the dry down of this fragrance, while it is exquisitely beautiful, it is very, very soapy. So you have that spiciness, you have the frankincense, which is quite dominant. You have that soapy quality, and then you have the florals. All in all, the fragrance is absolutely beautiful and totally different than anything else that I have in my collection. But again, this is one that you must try on skin before deciding to pick it up. At that, I do recommend that you not get like a 2 ml. Get yourself at least a 5 ml, 8 ml, 10 ml decant so that you can really try it on skin and decide if this is one that you really want to add to your collection. I have to tell you that I am so happy that I added Existence to my Amouage collection, and I give it a 9 out of 10. All right, guys, so that's all I wanted to do today. I wanted to come on here and quickly share with you my thoughts on Existence. I don't think that my mind is going to change in any way as I continue to use it. What I do, I'm pretty sure, is that I am going to fall in love more and more with it. This is one of those fragrances that, in my opinion, you have to wear. And as you wear it, you become more and more comfortable with it, with the concept of the fragrance, with the notes, with the way the blend was done. Just the entire fragrance is an experience, and I am loving that. Let us know if you've tried Existence, if you're planning to try it. Are you planning to blind buy it? What are your thoughts and your plans regarding this fragrance? Anyway, guys, if you have any additional questions, you know where to find me. And thank you so much for hanging with me today, and I will see you all in the next video.